Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
NarcoCop and Timmy T hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call NarcoCop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fights, Seki poured on ice. Lambo Plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Roses Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. NarcoCop, Timmy T, Friday nights, yes. A Lambo Plays podcast, where long shots live large and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Lambo Plays podcast for a special UFC Freedom 250 edition. I am your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Timothy Troiano. Timothy, episode 175. Man, it would be fitting if it was episode 250 for UFC Freedom 250, but it's episode 175. We have a 7-fight card. It is on Sunday. Honestly, like, from a big name perspective, yes, there's a lot of big names on the card, and that makes sense, you know, for a card like this. It's a big name card, but like from a matchup perspective and a betting perspective, I almost feel like, honestly, in this type of card, that people are just gonna push bets, man. They're just gonna bet because it's a big card, right? It's UFC Freedom 250. There's probably millions of eyes on this card that wouldn't be normally, right? Like millions. And so, you know, there's a lot of things to look at in this card. I want to talk about these things because this is a card that's going to be outside, right? I know it's a little bit later in the day in Washington, D.C., but like from what I hear, you know, there's a lot of humidity out there. It's a lot different than a controlled environment in an indoor stadium like the Apex or, you know, the T-Mobile Arena. Those things are in a controlled environment. This isn't outside. It's uncontrolled. There could be bugs. You could be fucking throwing punches and all of a sudden a bug goes in your eye. I don't know. You know, I'm just making stuff up. It's probably not going to happen. But I'm saying it's not a controlled environment, right? So, you know, there's a lot of things to consider, especially when you're betting on this card. I do have, you know, some bets on this card. Nothing crazy. I don't really want to push bets. I feel like a lot of big favorites, right? There's only 2 really competitive fights on paper as far as odds are concerned. The rest are minus 300s or more, you know? So yeah, I mean, I'm going to let you talk about this card, how you feel about this card. I do have a nice Topuria shirt right here. So, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. The question marks on the outside is definitely something that's a little bit concerning. Also, just massive chalk on 5 of the 7 fights. I think that the chalk is kind of like justified in a lot of those fights, to be honest. So, um, but yeah, it's for me, it's also kind of tough to find like really big numbers and Lambos with these ones, with a lot of the fights that I think how they're going to go. So it's going to be good to just break down the fights and kind of let the people know what we think is going to happen. But for me, I think it's kind of like a don't don't go too big this week and save money for the later
Yeah.
cards. This is kind of a tough one to bet on for unless
Yeah,
you're just like parlay boy.
I mean, I try to go like weird on some that I probably don't think are gonna hit, but just because it's 7 fights, like, and there's such huge odds. The what I think is gonna happen and what the odds are suck, right? So that's another thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna get into it. Yeah, I rather like almost break down the fights and not really worry too much about Lambos. I'm gonna give them a Lambo plate regardless, but I kind of want to break down the fights from a just a breakdown perspective on a betting side, or even just breaking it down for the people and let them decide what they want to do with the actual fight. Let me go over to my chat. There is 74 people in here. We're probably not going to get a lot of people in here today, Tim, because we got the US of A playing in their World Cup soccer game against Paraguay. And I was reading something like absurd amount of people are on USA today. It's like, what can go wrong on the money line for USA today? Dixon, Narco, and Tim, let's hope they stage another fake. Come on, bro. We're not going to start that bullshit. All right. Eric Will, what is up with party people? What is up? Elijah on, let's F and go. Buster J, Daukaus by KO rounds 2 and 3. Azure, probably more excited to hear what NarcoCop and Tim have to say versus the actual card, as you both make every card more interesting. Thank you both. I appreciate you. Azure, Mushrooms in the house. What up, Narco? And Tim, Financial Freedom 250. I wouldn't call it Financial Freedom 250 on this card, at least not for me. Daz, let's go. Historic card deserves a historic amount of parlays. Oh boy, people are expecting a lot from this card, Tim. Carlos, let's go. He says, DEO7 says, watching a World Cup game and the Lambo Plays podcast all at once. Multitasking at its finest. I appreciate you, my man. AJ says, good evening, everyone. I appreciate you, AJ. Good evening to you. Stan says, Timmy T. Rude One says, let's F and go, boys. Let's get this Discord represent. I appreciate you, Rude One. Tristan's in here. Are any Americans going to free Ellipse event? Free Eclipse event? Free. I don't know.
No idea.
I'm trying to figure this one out. Are any Americans going to the free Eclipse event? I don't know what it is. All right. I'm going to have to guess it later. He's saying it's free for all Americans. So which event is this guy talking about? I'm very curious now. Let's see what else here. We have Nabil. What's up, my man? Nabil Chiwi says, what were you? Okay, he's asking Rude Boy. Breaking Bad Boxing. He says, 2 Beasts. What's up, my man? Thank you for joining. Hope to see you at the Bam. Dude, Bam Vargas fight. Actually, my cousin just messaged me. Literally just messaged me. He has like front row tickets. He's going with he's really good friends with what's the announcer for the boxing, the boxer Mora? No, not Nora. The other guy that was almost a champion. God, I can't. His name is like, I'm blanking out on his name, but he's this Abner Mares. That's who he's going with. He's a really good friend. So he's got tickets for me too, but I can't go because I'm going to be going to Vegas very early in the morning on Sunday morning. So not going to be able to go. Paulie Figs, he says, Billy Face as USA goal already? Is that real? I don't even know. He's probably pulling my leg. I don't know. Oh, own goal for Paraguay. Wow. That's insane. MMA Tard says, what up, Chad? I'm a little late, but always great. Thank you for joining. MMA Tard. Left for Dead. Hey, Narco and Tim, what's up, my man? What else do we got here? All right. They're saying it's real, Tim. It's 1-0. USA, just like that. Let's go. All right, Tim, we have 7 fights. We don't have a lot of fights, but we're going to try to break them in depth a little bit more than normal. And we're going to start out here. First fight of the night, and it is in the featherweight division. It is the 19-5 Steve Garcia versus the 27-8 Diego Lopes. And currently, Diego Lopes is down to -150, and the comeback is +130 on Steve Garcia. I will let you kick this one off here. Probably, I don't know, I would say the best matchup in the entire card for me.
Yeah, I think it's up to this one and the Gane versus Pereira. I think they're both really awesome matchups. Yeah, for me, this is a great fight. You have, should be a banger. Both these guys don't avoid fighting with anybody. And I think, Steve Garcia's on a really good run. He's got a bunch of momentum going his way. Level of competition is clear to the Lopes side for me. I feel like also massive grappling edge for Diego here in this fight. Steve, in 5 fights that I taped, gave up his back in 5 fights in getting grappled. And I think that that's just a major factor in this fight. It is possible that these guys could just stand and bang, no doubt. But I feel like Diego has gone to Oklahoma State University to train as well. He's not going to Oklahoma State to train to work on his striking. He's going there to improve his wrestling. And I feel like in this fight, I just feel like this is clearest path. I feel like if it's a, stand and bang type of situation, he's going to give Steve his best opportunity to win. I think there's a huge hardware edge for Diego in this fight. Steve's been dropped in many fights. He gets hurt all the time. He does fight through adversity unless he gets completely knocked the fuck out. But that was pretty much only versus Mahashate. But he's been dropped like so many different times, and he gets hurt in a lot of fights. He's very open to be hit just from his aggressive style. And I think his aggressive style will actually allow Diego to get him down and be able to get him down into the ground and potentially get his back take in this fight. It's similar to like the Silva fight. Like Silva's over, his aggression and like throwing the spinning shit allowed him to get the back take and then allowed him to take him down pretty easily in that fight. And I don't think I don't think that Silva's like an easy guy to grapple and wrestle. And that was just like super, super easy. Once he got on top, he was like to mount immediately. If he gets his fight to the ground, just massive edge here. So I ended up taking Diego by sub at +440. I do think he can knock him out clearly. I think he could finish any which way. I think he could win a decision, but I'm going to go with submission because I think that just the tendency for Garcia to give up his back to literally everybody is just too much for me. I think that Diego's going to try to wrestle him, and if he does, and if he gets him down, I feel like he's going to sub him.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with this fight is level of competition is big, right? We already know this. Like Diego Lopes has fought the best of the best in the 45-pound weight class, right? Alexander Volkanovski twice, losing to Movsar, where he came into the UFC on very, very short notice. And honestly, yeah, did he get grappled there? Yeah, but he showed well in that fight, man, for being on short notice, late replacement call up into your first UFC fight. He actually looked really, really good against a very, very hard guy to look good against in Movsar, right? So, as he's progressed in his UFC career, I feel like he's improved a lot, even in his striking, I don't think it's polished. I don't think his striking is very, very like great technically speaking, but I think it's improved a lot from what it used to be, very good calf kicks from this guy. A lot of power in his hands, exceptional chin, very, very dangerous jiu-jitsu game when fights hit the ground. And you mentioned the Oklahoma State University stuff. He's been training there for a while, like on and off. He's been going there for over a year. I think he's really good friends with the coach there or whatever, that guy that used to train at or used to be a wrestler at Oklahoma State. I think he's a coach there now. I forgot I'm drawing a blank on the name, but I think he's really close friends with this guy, and he's been going there a lot. It's been a while now, to be honest. So I don't want to make too much of the fact that he's going to Oklahoma State. Now, all of a sudden he's going to wrestle, because he's been going there for a while, over a year, I would say. What I will say is that when you look at Diego Lopes's last 2 fights, right? Gene Silva and the second Volk fight, is he actually wrestled. He actually got 2 takedowns against Volkanovski. That's impressive just in itself, right? Getting 2 takedowns. Then you get Gene Silva down 2 or 3 times. That's also pretty impressive. I know Silva can get taken down, but one of them was his stupidness from a spinning whatever he did in the first round. But he's using the wrestling in the last couple fights. He's got 5 takedowns. You know what I'm saying? When you look at before that, he got 1 against Ortega, 1 against Ige. Didn't get any in the first Volkanovski fight. He wasn't shooting that much. And, I know he loves to stand and bang. I know he believes in his chin, all of that stuff. But I've heard some takes like Steve Garcia is the better wrestler here. I don't think so, man. I really don't think he's better than Diego Lopes. I'm looking at Steve Garcia, and I'm going to say this. That's why we're trying to break this down a little bit more. He's got 88% takedown defense, Tim, right? Which is really good, right? It's good takedown defense. Let's not get that twisted. The problem with that number is that you got a guy like Desmond Torres, right? That's part of those numbers in his Dana White's Contender Series fight, who went 0 for 7 against them, right? That's part of it. The second part of it is Mel Costa, after he gassed his ass off, he went 0 for whatever. So Mel Costa got 2 takedowns early and then nothing after that, and he was 2 for 10. So with those 2 guys, he stuffed 15 takedowns. You know what I'm saying? It's not really like, okay, how about these other fights? Like Nurmagomedov, he only shot twice and he got 1 takedown. Then you look at all these other guys and no one else really shot on him, man. Like Calvin Kattar didn't shoot, Onama didn't shoot. Nelson was a weird sequence where he got his back somehow in a weird scramble. And then the rest of these guys are just not shooting on him. The fact that I've seen him in these vulnerable positions with his back taken, this and that, you just don't want Diego Lopes in that position against you, I will say that I think on the feet, Steve is a little bit cleaner than Diego. I think he throws a little bit straighter shots. I do think he's a little wild too. He tends to get really aggressive and wild and could get caught in counters. The big thing to me here, the biggest thing here is just the fact that I think one guy has a much better chin than the other here. I think both guys hit very hard, but watching Diego Lopes against Gene Silva eat a 3-piece combo right to the chin, all 3 shots, and just, maybe he got buzzed a little, but he wasn't even hurt. He wasn't stumbling. He wasn't. And Gene Silva, I will tell you, I've been saying this for a while, hits like a motherfucking truck, So if he's taking those 3 shots, and, it's one thing to take 1 shot, you take a shot because you're expecting it. But when 2 more are following and you're not expecting both of those and you're not seeing them and you're still taking them, you probably have a damn good chin, So Steve Garcia land something big and potentially knock out Lopes. Maybe. I don't really, to be honest, I don't think he's going to knock out Lopes. I just don't. I think it's vice versa. I think if anything, Lopes is going to knock him out. But Sub stuck out to me because it's plus 440. And I get it. Lopes is not grappled a lot. He likes to stand and bang. But grappling a guy like Volkanovski is super, super hard, man. He knows. Here's the thing. That's the other thing I want to say. The Volkanovski fights are 5 rounds. He knows that if he goes for this grappling game against Volkanovski, 1, he's not going to be able to hold him down. 2, he's going to gas himself out from trying to grapple Volkanovski. No one has success against him. So, like, why are you going to grapple against Volkanovski? You saw what he did to Gene Silva. I mean, he's really, really good on top, man. He will, like, if that's Steve Garcia in Gene Silva's spot, is he surviving that?
No chance.
I don't think so. Like, Gene Silva's just built different, man. The guy's built different. And, it's just looking at some of these fights, man. I mean, dominating win against Ortega. I get it. Ige fight was very, very weird. But still he won 2 rounds pretty easily. And he's pretty much dominated everybody, to be fair. Like, who has he not dominated? I get it. He didn't dominate Movsar, he lost. Volkanovski, he lost both. But like Gene Silva fight, he didn't dominate. But let me tell you something. Gene Silva, to me, is championship material. I'm saying this right now. I've been saying this. I just don't think Steve is in that discussion, Like, looking at Steve's wins, it's like Onama fight was like the weirdest shit ever. Onama just wanted no piece of fighting. He's like, just hit me, let me run, let me, he landed 2 strikes. So, yeah, I mean, the ghost of Cater, like, I just don't rate these wins, man. I'm gonna go with Lopes sub, man, plus 440. I just think he's the better mixed martial artist overall. I think Steve Garcia's path is obviously on the feet. I think Diego Lopes can do it in multitude of ways. So I'm gonna go with Diego Lopes here by sub at plus 440. Let's see what we have in chat. We got a bunch of stuff here in chat.
We got a donation.
Yeah, I see it. I said I'm gonna get to it right now. Chiwi says Steve Garcia winning, nothing to do with level of competition. Let's see. Lucky Lou says Lopes is gonna starch his ass. Half says I think Garcia wins by KO, but I'm taking Garcia money line plus fight to start round
I like Garcia decision more than any of his other props at plus 500 or plus 550.
I think so too. Honestly, I think his decision is better than anything, in my opinion. People are he has power, but people are underestimating how tough and how durable Diego Lopes is. They really are. Lucky Lou says Lopes KO 1. Oh, there it is. Dixon brought it up. David Taylor. That's the coach. That's the former wrestler at Oklahoma State. I think they're very good friends. I see him in pictures with him a lot. So I'm assuming they're good friends. What else here? Diego Lopes will shoot 0 takedowns, says Chiwiwi. Mr. Maldmano, what's up, my man? Van Carroll says, I got Diego over half a takedown plus 100. I think it's a good bet. I think he's going to shoot. I really think he's going to land a takedown. Listen, if he can get Volk down, he can get fucking Steve Garcia down. I'll tell you that right now. It's all about, is he going to go with that game plan? And I think, maybe they want to show out in front of like this White House shit, but I'm just not going to cap everything thinking, oh, these guys want to impress the president and all these other people, so they're just going to bang. Like, come on. At the end of the day, they still going to have a game plan. It's still a fight. Like, what? Come on. I'm just going to be thinking like that. It's not going to be good. My man, dissection, 69.99 dono from my man. Again, Tim, 2-tier PRP cash from my man. This guy just crushes one. And one, let me tell you, I try to tape that shit. It's not easy to fucking tape that, man. Like, these guys are fighting in the middle of, Thailand in bars, and fucking they're fighting every other week. There's fights you cannot find. Their names are like 6 different names. You can't even find who's what, and the crazy thing is, it's like, you could be Tim, right? You could be Timothy, and your last name is the gym, right? So it's Timothy Silk Muay Thai or whatever, right? Or some shit. But then you move to another gym, and now your name changes again. And now you have to fucking search that name to find the fight. It's fucking ridiculous to tape this shit. And he just loves doing it, and he's good at it. So I appreciate it. Every week he's been donating $69.99. I appreciate dissection. He's very good in the community. And we're crushing in there. Let's see what else. Steve by split 17-1. I don't mind that, honestly. I don't mind that. It could be something like that, if it gets to the scorecards. All right. We broke that down a lot, Tim. Fight number 2. It is in the middleweight division. It is 17-4 Kyle Daukaus versus the 8-1 Bo Nickal. I think this line came down a little here. Bo Nickal minus 300 and the comeback on Daukaus at plus 250. And this is the one where I disagree. I think the line's short, honestly. I think the line's short. Okay. And now hear me out. Everybody's been shitting on Bo Nickal. He quit. He did this. He did that. First of all, I don't think he quit in that fight. He ate a brutal knee to the fucking liver and he went down. I mean, that finishes a lot of people. I mean, RDR is very physical. He's huge for the division, right? At 185. And he's a very good grappler. He gets on top of you, you're fucking in trouble. He came out last fight. He took some time off, like I think 9 months from the RDR fight, maybe even a year. And then he came back and fought Rodolfo Vieira. And man, his striking looked good to me, man. He looked good. Very good hands, very good kicks, very good setups, feints. You could see he clearly improved his hands, Bo Nickal, man. He improved his hands a lot. Guy's an elite athlete, the top of the top of the food chain when it comes to athletes, Olympic gold medalist, you fucking name it, on and on. This guy is just an insane athlete. Very strong, extremely good wrestler. Striking is looking much better, man. Much better. I know it's Rodolfo Vieira, but believe me when I tell you, just look at the striking. Forget about who he's fighting. Look at his footwork. Look at his feints. Look at his strikes. They're straight. They're not loopy. The way he set up the head kick, bro, he was going low, and then bang, high, knocks him out. Kyle Daukaus, right? He's on a 2-fight win streak. He hasn't fought more than 2 minutes, Tim. In 2 fights in his comeback, he's fought a grand total of 1.5 minutes. Okay. What the fuck are we going to make out of that? Can someone tell me all of a sudden Kyle Daukaus is great in his second stint because he knocked out Michel Pereira with some weird overhand right, and then he clubbed and subbed a fucking 90-year-old Gerald Meerschaert? Like, who cares? How about we go to the fight before that, 2 fights before that, where that Fallon guy was on top of him like a fucking wet blanket for a lot of that fight? How about that one? And that guy Fallon, whatever the hell his name is, he's like 40 years old, right? Then you go to the fight even before that against Greg Ellis, and he's literally surviving from getting finished in the last round, right? So you watch I watched the Eric Anders grappling fight, and you could see the physicality, like Eric Anders kind of just tossing him around, Then you look at the actual Eric Anders MMA fight, and again, he's tossing him around and like just grounds and pounds him when he gets on top. It's just, this guy is not physical at all, man. And you're facing a physical freak in Bo Nickal, a great wrestler. Like I can just literally do this, snap my fingers, and Bo Nickal gets a takedown. Anytime he wants, he gets a takedown here, right? And I'm telling you, he's not subbing. I went back and watched just recently. They did it. I think it was February. Bo Nickal against Gordon Ryan in a submission grappling match. He did submit him by the end in round 3 or whatever. I think it was round 3 or the third whatever. But like Gordon Ryan was having a hard time with Bo Nickal. Like it wasn't easy for him. And now all of a sudden, fucking Kyle Daukaus is going to sub this guy. So, yeah, I mean, bro, I just like Bo Nickal here. I think he's going to do it any which way he wants. I wouldn't even be shocked if he subbed him. Honestly, I would not be shocked because I could see something like a arm triangles. It doesn't have to be anything special. Just being way stronger and way more physical than Daukaus is, But I do think it's KO. I think he's going to knock him out. I know a lot of people are thinking this goes to decision. I think Daukaus is a flake, man. He's going to knock him out. He has not absorbed anything since he's gotten back to the UFC, like 0 punches. I think Nickal's going to get him out of there, man. I just think he's too physical. Whether it be ground and pound, it could be ground and pound when he's on top, or it could be standing and he just lands a big shot on Daukaus. But give me Bo Nickal at plus 210 by KO. Listen, they're putting Bo Nickal on this card. He's an Olympic gold medalist on this UFC Freedom card, and they gave him Daukaus for a reason. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I really don't have that very much to add. I think that Daukaus has really kind of like run hot in those last 2 fights. I feel like just it doesn't get easier than GM3 at this stage in the game, and I think Pereira had some family members that needed money, so he said KO1 for Daukaus. Go ahead and put it in. Yeah, and Bo Nickal, I feel like is a, there's just different. The only thing I would say is, the RDR fight, everybody gives him shit on the RDR fight. I just feel like there's always, I watched that back, and I think we've talked about this before, but like when I watch that back and I say, dude, this fight changes if he doesn't go for a guillotine in round 1. Like, in my opinion, like that fucked him up. Like he goes for a guillotine. He ended up on bottom, started getting beat to shit. And like the fight just changes. Like, I feel like if he doesn't end up on bottom and go for that move and it fights smarter, and that's basically his weakness at this point, is that he doesn't have enough ring experience and octagon experience to just make those decisions right and know what he should be doing. And he should have just been staying on top and just beating him up and just, wearing on him and then doing this exact same thing in round 2. So I'll go to my grave thinking that fight, could have been a lot different if he doesn't do that, but he did it. So I feel like he's going to get takedowns pretty free here in this fight whenever he wants, and not get darsed, and then just kind of ground and pound and stay. I do feel that Daukaus's bottom game is both bad and good. He's not great at getting up, but he's not great at, he's not easy to like pass and submit. Like Brendan Allen fight, he did really well on bottom. Allen's pretty aggressive. He never really was close to anything versus him. But I feel like there's going to be chances for Bo to throw some ground and pound and or just completely just maul him on top. So I ended up going with round 3 and decision for Bo, plus 700 and plus 250.
Yeah, Mr. Maldonado corrected me. Yeah, I meant under 23 world championships. He had a gold medal, but I think he was a 3-time
national champ
in at Penn State. So, I mean, I think he probably would have won a gold medal if he went to the Olympics, but I don't think he even tried out. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he even tried out for the Olympics. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think it's going to be a one-sided fight, in my opinion. But yeah, Dravi's in here. What's up, my man? Dravi in the house. All right, Tim. Next fight. It is in the lightweight division. It is a 23-10 Michael Chandler versus the 13-2 Mauricio Ruffy, and Ruffy is now minus 700 to come back on Chandler at plus 500. Tim,
this is the fight. Chandler, to me, man, he just seems like he's a guy that never really fights with a plan and or an IQ in there. He always says that he's going to, and then as soon as he gets hit, he just goes full rabies mode and loses all tactics and strategy whatsoever. Ruffy is a guy that I feel like he's just, I don't know. I haven't been like super impressed by some of his tape, but I also feel like that last fight against Fiziev was the best that he's looked in a bunch of different ways. So he could be, he's entering his prime now. He could be improving. He's training with Volk for the last couple fights. I feel that that's going to be really smart for him to improve his all-around game and his IQ and just understanding how to use his strengths a little bit better. Volk is incredible at just not only doing that himself, but explaining his game plans. I've listened to him talk about fights for years, and he just knows the game probably better than most people. So I think he's going to help out Ruffy. I think this fight, Chandler's probably going to try to wrestle early. He might have some success. He's going to gas within 3 to 4 minutes doing that, and then he's going to get sniped most likely. So he could even get sniped before that, or going in for something. But I feel like Ruffy's going to try to stay away at first and maybe try to catch him with something, catch him with a knee, catch him with an uppercut as he's shooting one of these takedowns. But it took Ruffy like almost a full round to knock out Jamie McCarthy. He's not like a guy that goes like super aggro at guys. Like he's kind of slow, and he counters guys. He's going to wait to get his shot here. He's not just going to go straight at him and allow him to just take him down and get into a range where it's easy for him to shoot a takedown on him. He's probably just going to stay at range with him and just pick his shots and counter him. And I think round 2 KO is plus 390. It's not a great line. Round 3 KO is plus 650. I think it's round 2, to be honest. And I think he snipes him eventually and catches him once Michael Chandler gets tired.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chandler's going to wrestle here. Honestly, I truly think he's going to wrestle here. Like, yeah, could he be stupid and just swing and try to impress, the president, and he's American and this and that, and he's on all the sauce, by the way. Like, I don't think there's a single steroid that this guy's not on. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's got veins popping out of his eyes, Tim, like literally coming out of his eyes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to help his chin or anything. I'm not saying like probably his recoverability. I mean, he already has insane recoverability. Like, he's been hurt in so many spots where he just somehow, some way recovers. I don't know how he does it. But his chin is, he has been hurt in fights, but he's tough as hell, man. He's not easy to get out of there. Everybody talks about the, Pimblett fight, but that was ground and pound. He had him in a bad position. He was tired and just ground and pounded him. Is Mauricio Ruffy going to get to that position? I don't know. I don't think so. But Mauricio Ruffy is a very, very good striker. He's got a very, very good pullback counter right hand. I think that's the one he might catch Chandler with, because when Chandler comes in throwing, he throws these fucking huge looping hooks and he's trying to close the space. And, with Ruffy, he's just going to step back, let you throw those, and bang, throw that right hand. And, we saw him, what he did in his last fight to Fiziev. He has a lot of power. He's 12 out of his 13 wins are KOs. He does have a lot of power. I do think he's very low volume, though. He's like looking to pick that perfect shot, to land it. I think that's going to bite him in the ass eventually. You can't be fighting like that, just trying to land one perfect shot all the time. The other thing I don't like with Ruffy a lot, and I think Chandler actually could take advantage of it in this fight, is that he backs himself up to the cage all the time. Every single fight I watch, he gets backed up to the cage. And Chandler, if he gets to back him up to the cage, he loves to throw and then shoot, duck under and shoot for the takedown. Now, Ruffy can get him with a knee. He's got good timing. He's like fast twitched type of guy. So he could catch him with the knee, but he also could get taken down there, by Chandler. I think Chandler is a better wrestler than a guy like Benoit Saint-Denis. And Saint-Denis had success taking him down. Ruffy did get up multiple times, but I think Chandler has better wrestling. He doesn't have better jiu-jitsu than Benoit Saint-Denis, but I think he has better wrestling than him. And I think early he can get takedowns here. I just think he can waste a lot of the time by cage pushing, getting takedowns, mixing those in, getting Ruffy to think about, the level change. So I do think that eventually Ruffy is going to get him. Like, he's going to get Michael Chandler eventually, especially as he tires out. He's going to get more sloppy, right? He's going to be more open to get countered. And then Ruffy has a decent size edge, reach, height. And I think he's going to eventually get him. I'm going to go with 2-3 Ruffy KO. It's plus 210. Again, not the best price. I don't love the price. I don't recommend people like betting anything. If you want to just sprinkle something like that, sprinkle it. I really don't like the price. I mean, plus 210 sucks for, round 3, 2-3. But like, I don't really see many other ways this. I mean, yeah, Ruffy could knock him out early. I honestly could see a world where potentially Chandler can somehow win a decision. I mean, listen, I'm not a Ruffy lover. I faded this guy against
Long top.
Alien Top at like plus whatever 800 or whatever the fuck it was. And Alien Top won a round in that fight. So it's like, and he came in like a fat ass. Do you remember that? He like missed weight by a bunch. So I don't like Ruffy's style like long term because I think he's very low volume. He can be backed up. He can be taken down. He's got a lot of flaws in his game, but he's an exceptional striker. He's got his timing is great. His power is really good. And those kind of things, I guess Michael Chandler kind of walks into those kind of things at 40 years old too. Like he's up there in age. I mean, there is a world where Chandler can land the big shot, like, and maybe hurt Ruffy on the feet. I mean, it's not like it's out of the question. Chandler hurt Oliveira in round 5 after getting ragdolled for fucking, 22 minutes that fight. But yeah, I'm going to go with KO 2-3 at plus 210. Moving on, next fight. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 29-13 Derek Lewis versus the 9-0 Josh Hokit. And I think currently Hokit is the same price. Actually, he's minus 500 with the comeback of plus 375 on Derek Lewis. And this one, I think this is one-sided, man. I think this is one-sided. 41-year-old Derek Lewis. I've always said I think this guy is kind of a quitter. Josh Hokit, if you're a quitter, is probably going to make you quit. I know last fight, I just don't even know how this guy took all those shots, man. Like it was really, really impressive that Curtis Blades took all those shots early and came back. A lot of people are going to question Hokit's cardio in that, but man, I think he blew his wad early. Like, did you guys watch round 1? Like he threw everything in the kitchen sink in that round 1. And honestly, he still came back in round 3. He has that second win, right?
Yeah, round 3, like, dude, he was all over him. It
was impressive, man. He looked like he was dead. Let's be honest. Round 2, he looked like he was going to die. But the guy is an elite athlete. He's a former NFL player. He's a D1 college wrestler. He's you just go on and on. He's a freak athlete against a guy that's 41 years old. I know it's heavyweight, and I know, but 41 years old against a freak athlete at 28 in his prime, it's a big mismatch, So I think this is here, I'm going to state this. It's KO1 Hokit, in my opinion, but I'm going to just say that maybe he's a little scared of Derek Lewis's power. He's going to try to drain him a little bit early. I do think Hokit has good cardio, by the way, after watching that. I think Hokit's going to get him in round 2. I'm going to go with KO2. It's plus 600. I think he's going to get Lewis. He's going to make him quit, I think. It could be round 1, more than likely round 1. If he gets on top, just laying the hammer on him. Because Hokit is going to lay the hammer if he gets on top. So this is not Jalton Almeida, fucking around on top. He's going to lay the hammer on Lewis. So I'm going to go with KO2, 600. It's probably one. But, yeah, I don't have much else to add here. Outside of a miracle, like just catching Hokit being stupid, Lewis is screwed.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I put in the Discord on this fight. I put Lewis quits. That is it. Like it's just, this is what this dude does. Like that Waldo fight was just brutal. Like just watching that fight back, and you're just like, he just doesn't want to fight anymore, and he just drops down and he just says, "All right, come and finish me." It was just awful. Yeah, I don't think Hokit's going to fight this fight like he did Blades. He's been public with that. He's not going to fight Derek Lewis the same way as he's fighting a wrestler in Blades. And he took the shots from Blades. I don't think that that's going to be something that he wants to do in this fight. I think he's probably learned his lesson. I think he's a really smart fighter, actually. So it's not doesn't seem to be like one of these ego guys that goes straight into somebody else's strength. So I think that he's going to go straight into the weakness with Lewis, single leg him, hammer fist, fight over pretty shortly thereafter. So I went with round 1, round 2 KO as well. Yeah, I just think he's going to kill him.
Tim, you're right, but I got to give a shout out to a Discord member. I have to. B Trump absolutely just destroyed them in this USA game. He gave Belugin to score a goal at plus 240. He scored. He gave Pulisic to assist. Pulisic assisted. I think it was like plus 600, something like that, 550, right? Then he also gave this Belugin guy to have like one shot on goal in first half, 2 shots total in the first half, all this other shit, and fucking literally swept all of them. And he hasn't missed so far in the World Cup. I think he had the under in the first game, under 2.5, hit that. Yesterday, he gave a guy, I don't know if you saw this. He gave a guy on the what team was it? I don't even know. I'm not good with soccer. I think it was Swiss. Who played yesterday? Norway? Who is that team?
No idea.
Anyways, whatever team it was, he said this guy is going to score a goal with a header. And it was like 25-1 or something. And the guy scores a goal with a header, bro. It's insane. He hit all of these so far in like 4 games. He's really good with soccer, and he's always in the soccer chat with all the people. I just don't follow. Oh, it's Czech. Yeah, Czech. Oh, he's in here. There he is. B Trump's in here. Czech. Yeah. The Czech guy by a header or whatever. How in the God's green earth do you get that one? I just played him to score a goal, and it was 11-1. So I was happy with that. So anyways, I got to give him a shout out. Let's move on. Next fight. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 14-2 Ayman Zahabi versus the 19-3 Sean O'Malley. What's the line on this one? I think it's gone up. Minus 460 and a comeback on Zahabi at plus 360, Tim. Interesting matchup here. What do you got?
I think that this is a fight that Sean O'Malley should win. I feel like he's just better at the very, very similar kind of styles with Zahabi and him kind of just like both liking to counter. Sean will go at somebody if he feels he's got a major advantage, but he'll wait for you to make mistakes. Both guys can fight off their back foot. Zahabi's not super high volume. The difference with O'Malley is going to throw way more strikes, averages way more per round, per fight. Just faster, just longer reach, taller, just every skill minus wrestling in this fight. I feel like Sean has an edge, and I don't feel like the things that Zahabi likes to do are going to work in this fight for him. I think Zahabi, I was talking earlier about a fighter running hot with Garcia and Daukaus, and like this is like classic running hot, dude. This guy's been on fire. Like I think you could make an argument. I think you can make an argument that he lost every fight in his last few fights. Like you could pretty much. I think you can make the argument that he won, but I'm not saying that he won or lost. I'm just saying like all of them are razor close. I think he lost to Aldo. Cheeto was close, and then I don't know, man. I just don't think that it's like super. Oh, this guy's like the man. I think he's cashed as a big dog a bunch of times. People like him for that. Good for them. Yeah, I just don't. He's not a guy that I'm like super high on in this fight. I feel like Sean's better everywhere. Whether or not Sean can get him out of there or not is the question to me. And Zahabi's been getting hurt and knocked down, and got knocked down versus Aldo, got knocked down versus Cheeto. I think both of those guys did not truly go after him after that, and that's where I think that O'Malley's kind of different. O'Malley's not like super aggro, but if he hurts you, he will go after you. And that's kind of where I think will happen in this fight. I ended up I think if you're on Zahabi, I think it's Zahabi by split. I will say that that's 14-1. I think it's going to be really, really tough in the US at the White House to have the American fighter lose to the Canadian by in a unanimous. And I just don't think that he's skilled enough to unanimously beat him anyways. So I think if you're on Zahabi, 14-1 by split for him is okay. But I went with Sean KO2 at plus 800 and Sean KO3 at plus 1200. I think those are good lines. I think he could catch him late in this fight.
Yeah, man. Honestly, after running the tape, it's like the hobby's obviously 38, but he's kind of like I don't even know how to explain. He's like a young 38, right? He hasn't been in wars. He hasn't taken much damage. Doesn't fight a lot, right? He's only got 16 fights. So he's kind of like if there's such a thing, he's like a young 38 for fighting years, right? O'Malley's going to hold a sizable reach and height advantage here, 3-inch height, 4-inch reach advantage. And obviously, he's going to hold a massive speed advantage here. That's where I think, O'Malley is going to be much, much faster than a guy like Zahabi, right? Zahabi fought Vera, Aldo, Munoz. All those guys are pretty, on his level as far as speed is concerned. Maybe Aldo, even at that age, is still faster. But to me, though, and this is the thing, I don't think O'Malley has like this one-punch power, honestly. I think actually Aldo, I think, hits much harder with one punch than a guy like O'Malley does, right? Zahabi's been hurt in fights. He's been dropped. But, man, his recoverability is really good, man. I mean, the way the way that Aldo dropped him and then gave him that kick right to the face, and he still managed to survive and actually end up on top and like kind of basically destroy Aldo after Aldo gassed, was very impressive, man. The thing that with Zahabi that I think is going to give Sean trouble is that he's never faced a guy that's awkward like that. He's very awkward. When I watch this guy strike, it's not conventional at all. It's switching stances, punches coming from awkward angles. He's closing the distance, right? With his footwork a lot, changing stances, closing distance. I know Sean has very good footwork, and I know he can circle the cage, but, Zahabi has a way of like coming forward and pressing guys with his weird style and then unloading on that. He did it a lot to Cheeto Vera, actually. I know a lot of these fights are close, and I agree with you. Even the Bashrat fight was close, right? But the reason why they're close to him is also because of how awkward this guy is, too. It's not easy to clean against this guy. It's not easy to dominate this guy. You know what? Actually, what's funny is I went back, throughout his entire UFC career, and he's never been shut out in his entire UFC career. He's always at minimum one round, and that's because of his style. It's very, very awkward. And I don't think Sean O'Malley is just going to have he's not going to just stay at range and let O'Malley pick him apart, man. He just, the TriStar Gym, the Zahabi, they're game planners. They're smart guys. They're not going to just say, hey, let's sit at range and try to outstrike O'Malley. That ain't happening. He's going to try to, do his weird little fucking switching of stances, moving forward, punches coming from weird angles. I do think that the way he ducks and he like kind of moves is O'Malley could do his patented step and knee and maybe land on Zahabi. It's possible. I think actually that's what started the whole sequence is Aldo landed that little step and knee or jumping knee, whatever it was against Zahabi. But I think this fight's a lot closer, honestly. I don't think it's minus 400 O'Malley. I really don't. I know O'Malley's fought the best guys and, Dong Song, Dvalishvili, all these guys. He dominated Vera, Peter Yan, he got a win over Yan. I don't know if he won the fight, but either way, if you go back and look at that Song fight, it's a very close fight, man. You know, they gave it unanimous for Sean, and I know why. The UFC loves Sean, by the way. We already know that. He's fighting on this card. I doubt they're going to give a decision as a hobby. Like, if he wins a split here, I will be shocked. You know what the split's going to look like? 2 dominating rounds by Zahabi, 1 by O'Malley, and it's still going to be split. That's how it's the split. It's not going to be like one of those legitimate splits where each guy won a round and then 1 round's close, because that's going to go to freaking O'Malley.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So, I'm going to go and split, honestly. It's 5-1. I think this fight's going to go to distance. That's how I feel. I feel Zahabi's awkwardness, I think his durability is actually pretty good. I know he's been dropped and stuff. He's not easy to finish. I mean, the one time he was finished, it was a spinning elbow right to the fucking chin. Anybody dies there against Ricardo Ramos. So, yeah, I'm going to go with split here. Plus 500. If you want to take a shot in Zahabi, like you said, 14-1 by split. It's not the worst, right? I don't think he's finishing O'Malley. O'Malley's very tough. He's got a good chin. But one more thing I have to add. Zahabi has actually really, really good kicks and sneaky kicks inside leg and outside. So Sean's got to watch out for those. He could get his legs kind of chopped off here, you know, if he's not careful. And O'Malley can fight out of both stances. I saw him do that. He's comfortable fighting out of both stances. He did it a lot against Yadong Song, actually. And Song tried to do the same thing. He tried to chop the legs, but O'Malley just wasn't having it. He's kept switching and stuff. So, all right, let's move on. Next fight in the heavyweight division. It is the 13-3 Alex Pereira versus the 13-2 Cyril Gane. And currently it is Gane at -115 and the comeback on Pereira at -105. So I put a post up. Everybody's drilling me about this post where I said, you know, Pereira's 258. He's going to be probably, 250, let's say, by when he gets on the scales or whatever. And everybody starts saying, well, what are you talking about? Because I said, I don't really like that this guy's up this high at this weight. Well, he walks around at 235 to 240. What are you talking about? And everybody walks around way more than where they fight at. Name me a fighter in all these divisions. Half the roster half the roster cuts 30, 40 pounds, like 30 pounds, 25 pounds, right? So it's like, it wasn't only Alex that was cutting to 205, like from 230 or whatever he was. Everybody else does it, and the funny part is there was actually MMA fighters on that post that came in and said, yeah, people are funny. They act like Alex is the only guy that cuts a lot of weight. There's a lot of fighters that do this, and I get the fact that this is heavyweight. It's a little different, right? And guys can go up to 260, right? But the thing that I don't like in this fight, if Alex is 250, right? 255, whatever, 258, let's say, right? You're carrying a lot more weight in a fight than you're used to. Forget about walking weight. Walking weight and fighting weight are different. But when you're in the ring and you're carrying a lot more weight than you're used to, that's going to affect your speed. That's going to affect your cardio. This is a 5-round fight. You're carrying like 15 or 20 more pounds than you're used to in the cage. You think that's going to help you? I don't think that's good. I think he should have been at I still need to see him on a scale. But for me, I would be more comfortable with Alex being at 230, right? Not 250. I don't want to see him at 250. Why the fuck are you all the way up there? You walk around, you say at 235, 240. So what's all this other weight you're adding on now? You know what I'm saying? Are you doing any cardio? What is it? It's all strength training all of a sudden? You're adding muscle? So I don't like that for him. I don't like the fact that he's gained so much weight. I think he's going to, at heavyweight, he's supposed to come up and kind of be the faster guy. He's not going to be the faster guy. Gane is going to be the faster guy. Gane is going to be the more athletic guy. Gane is going to be the guy that will get takedowns if there's any, right? In my opinion. I think he can shoot and get takedowns here. what people, Alex has good takedown defense, but he hasn't faced the heavyweight, that's athletic and can shoot quickly on you, Cyril Gane's athletic and could shoot quickly and get you down. So this is a fight that I think cardio is going to come into play, Tim. I think Cyril Gane is naturally a heavyweight. He's naturally a 245. Alex Pereira is not naturally here fighting at this fighting weight. I think he's going to gas in this fight, honest to God. I think if he doesn't get Gane out of there early, I think Gane is going to absolutely cook this guy later. And I think he's going to be very, very tired. I'm going with 3-4-5 here in Gane. This is the one that I kind of went shoot for the stars, Tim. 1,600, 1,800, 2,200. Cyril Gane rounds 3, 4, and 5 for me. I think he's going to, try to be very careful early, weather the storm. And by the way, I think Gane can hurt Pereira on the feet, man. I really do. I know he doesn't have a ton of power. I know he doesn't, doesn't have like crazy power, but he's buzzed. I mean, he buzzed Volkov. I mean, he buzzed these big heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? Why can't he fucking buzz Alex Pereira? So 3-4-5 for me, Gane. What do you got?
Yeah, I agree that I think that the weight is a major concern for me in this fight on Pereira. I wanted to, like, Pereira's been a cash cow for me. And I just feel like it's not like he's like going up to heavyweight and he looks like he's put on the weight like Victor Petrino or Vito Petrino did, like that dude, like he's still yoked. And this dude just doesn't look like this is weight that's like really good pounds that he's done. It looks like just all he's done is just eat cheeseburgers and like fucking burritos and shit. It's not a good, like, oh, he's this massive muscle that he's put on. Like when he's fighting Izzy, he's cut and he's trim. He's you can see the definition and all that shit. Even at 205, you could still see it. At 250, he does not look like athletic anymore. And I don't think that he's like a guy that, I think he's got fast hands. I think he's got quick hands, but I don't think he's like elite foot speed type fighter. Like he's plotting, like he's super square. Normally he's a guy that walks straight at you in a square stance and wants you to try to hit him so that he can counter you. And it's just like, it's not like this, agile type style where he's moving a ton, So now you're saying that this guy is going to go up, and weigh 50 pounds heavier than that. And just like, he's going to be athletic enough to deal with Cyril Gane. It's kind of a tough ask, I think. I think his only shot in this fight, Alex, that is to debilitate with Cyril with some calf kicks and to try to slow him down early in the fight and maybe be able to catch him there, kind of similar to what he did versus Izzy. And to go along with your potential, like cooking him or knocking him out and being able to catch him with something, like Izzy almost knocked him out in the first fight that he lost, and then he knocked him out in the second fight. Like this is like, I think that if you're just saying sheer power, like there's just no question, like heavyweight and Gane, even though he's not a power puncher, hits harder than Izzy does. It's more about the precision. So yeah, I ended up going with the Gane 4-5 decision. 4 is 18-1, like you said. 5 is 22-1. Decision is 310. But if you combine them all, it's plus 200. I think that I would rather play the plus 200 on that than the plus 310 on decision. Completely. Like, I don't think that you're getting any value for 90 cents and you're getting a potential finish in 4-5. And I just think that he's going to be too fast. And I think he's going to be able to just keep jabbing him over and over and over. And it's going to, that style for Pereira to just walk very straight. And Cyril's just the opposite. Like Cyril's like on an angle at you, always switching stances, always, in and out, throwing his shots, never really like overcommitting and allowing you to, get your game off. And like you said, if there's anybody that's going to shoot takedowns here, it's going to be him. And Pereira hasn't faced that anybody this big shooting takedowns against him. Jan was able to get him down at 205, and all these guys like that are even Yuri got him down. So I just don't think that it's like, if you're worried about Cyril striking, that he can't drop a level on you and catch you in a takedown. I don't think that he's going to do much with it. I think that Alex will probably just go full guard and play defense and get to the next round. But yeah, I think that there is definitely potential for him to get around from a takedown or get 3 minutes from a takedown, and then just tick tock, time's starting to go away, and you're not the same energy level as you were before that takedown. So yeah, I like 4-5 decision for Gane. I think it's a good spot for him. I think that this is a good matchup for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love Alex Pereira, but
Me too.
this might be him chewing off a little bit more than he can, or biting off a little bit more than he can chew. Yeah, let's move on. It's the main event of the night, and it is in the lightweight division. It is the 27-5 Justin Gaethje versus 17-0 Ilya Topuria, and currently Topuria minus 600 with the comeback on Gaethje at plus 425. Tim, I got my shirt. Kick us off.
This is this is a fight for sure. I can't wait to see this one. I just think it's going to be Ilya all day here. It's a question to me is the only real question to me in this fight is how is Gaethje going to fight? I think that will be the determining factor of when Topuria will knock him out. I think Topuria is being honest that he's saying I'm not going to try to grapple you. I think he wants to knock him out and prove a point. He would be smart to try to grapple him, honestly. Gaethje can be grappled for sure. I just think that this is going to be a question of does Gaethje go at him? If he does, this is going to be done really quickly. If he tries to throw some calf kicks and throw some kicks at him and mix in the low kicks and try to catch him with a head kick and just, try to fight a little bit more reserved, which is not his best style anyways. I think the fight could go a little bit longer, and that won't open up. It won't open himself up to the combinations that Ilya is going to put on him. Ilya is just like, I don't know. I just can't think of like a fighter. I honestly can't think of any fighter in any weight class that I've seen that like puts together combinations as well as he does. Like it's just insane what he does with his hands. He actually like truly like boxes, like just better than anybody I've ever seen. So, you're fucked too if you get anywhere near the cage and can't move in different direction, and you're only going left or right, and you can't come at like it's just he's just amazing in those positions. So I think eventually he's going to catch him, but I went with round 3 plus 650, round 4 plus 1100, round 5 1900. I'm just banking that on Gaethje not going straight at him. Like I said, I think if he goes straight at him, it's done really early. So I'm hoping that he kind of tries to fight reserved. And also I think that Gaethje's lasted with certain guys. And it took, it's taken, Emmett took an absolute ass beating by Ilya and was able to last with him. So I don't think it's like, that Justin can't survive for a round or two maybe with him, but I think eventually it's going to be like he just gets him out of there.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with Justin, though. Does he know how to fight that fight you're talking about? Where
he hasn't done it, really.
I mean, I don't know any. I watch all these fights. There's not one of these fights that he does that. It circles and just like he just wants to engage and land his shots. Like he's just not.
Patty was like probably the most reserved he's been,
and even that one. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, he wasn't really scared, I guess, of Patty's striking.
True.
Yeah.
He was more scared of the grappling. Like he was. That was
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched all of these fights. I didn't see any of them where he was reserved or like taking his time. Like a lot of these guys too, like Fiziev, for instance, he's more of a technical guy, like staying on the outside. Like he's the one that's kind of making it the fight that it is. Topuria is not going to do that, man. Like, if you're willing to engage with him, then he's going to engage with you. And his hand speed is just out of this world, dude. His combos are crazy. His power it's just crazy. The way he puts guys to sleep when he lands on them, it's different, man. And even like you mentioned, The Emmett fight, man, the Emmett fight was 3 years ago. I think this guy, even from then to now, has really even improved more, man. Believe it or not. Like, I just, the way, you know, he's putting out guys like Oliveira and Holloway and Volkanovski with one shot, Tim. It's literally one punch and they're going out. These are some of the most durable guys out there. Volkanovski, Oliveira never gets knocked out with one shot. Never. And Max Holloway, and every one of them is one shot and they're gone. What does that tell you right there? How hard does this guy hit? I don't need any more. And Gaethje, he's tough. But bro, this guy's been through too many fucking wars. He's 37 years old. I'm watching this Paddy Pimblett fight. The way he's throwing punches, ending up like with his face looking down at the mat when he's missing. He's going to get nuked in this fight. I have no fucking doubt in my mind. He's absolutely going to get nuked. And it's going to be early. The only way it's not early is if he runs. And I just don't see that. I've never seen that from Justin Gaethje. He doesn't run. You know, there's a lot of people talking about calf kicks. Ilya can land calf kicks on him. Ilya can land just as many calf kicks as Gaethje can land on him. And Ilya actually destroyed Holloway's leg in that fight. Go back and watch that. Go look what he did to Holloway's leg early on with calf kicks, you know? And like you mentioned, like Ilya can just get takedowns if he wants them, probably out grapple Gaethje. I don't think he's going to do it, honestly. I think he's going to put him to sleep. He is the best striker, the best boxer in the UFC. There's hands down, he's the best boxer. This guy can go to boxing tomorrow and succeed. He's that good of a boxer. His hand speed and power and combos, he throws 6-7 shots at a time. It's insane. It's insane. It's just not something we haven't really seen, you know, from guys ever before, like at lightweight. Like it's just crazy to have the power that he has and the hand speed and the accuracy. You know, he's got great head movement, man. Like literally very, very good head movement when, you know, when he's in the pocket. He's fucking murdering Gaethje, man. I'm telling you guys, I don't think this fight's going past 2 rounds. I really don't. Gaethje's lucky if it goes past 1 round. I'll tell you that right now. I know Emmett took a fucking shitload of damage, dude. A shitload of damage. And maybe there's a world that Gaethje can take all these shots and somehow make it out of there. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think Topuria is going to put him to sleep. Bad. Similar to Holloway, similar to Volkanovski, similar to Oliveira. He's going to put this guy to sleep too. He's just boxing his weight. His hands are too fast, man. Who has Gaethje fought that has the hands that Topuria has? Power and speed. No one. No one. Fucking everybody's talking about Fiziev is a kicker, bro. He doesn't have hands. He's a fucking kicker. So I don't want to hear about Fiziev. Oh, how he landed on Fiziev don't have good hands. Holloway has good hands. What did Holloway do to the Gaethje? Fucking put a absolute shit kicking on him for 5 rounds. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think Ilya is going to kill this guy. I think it's going to be early. I think it's going to be round 1, to be honest. I think it's round 1 KO Ilya for me here. But KO 1-2 is 100 plus 100. Just in case Gaethje makes it out of round 1. I think it's round 1. Wholeheartedly, I think he's going to kill him in round 1. That's just how I feel in this fight. Unless Gaethje does something completely different and starts running. But that's not Justin Gaethje, bro. He's going to engage in a war. He's going to want to engage in a war and maybe test his power, I guess, against Ilya. And Ilya, that's the other thing. He's showing a crazy good chin, man. I mean, the times that he's been rocked in his fights have been head kicks. Both times. He's been rocked, like, I think in pre-UFC with a head kick, and then the fight against, what's his name with a head kick? Right?
Oliveira nailed him with an elbow straight, too, and he just...
Dude, that elbow, that stepping elbow...
would have knocked out 90% of the UFC in that weight class.
Dude, he was coming into it, and he landed it flush, like, bang! Ilya just took it. He didn't even flinch.
Yeah, Oliveira's my dude, as you know. I was like, that's it. And I'm like, oh no, fuck, he's fucked. Like, he hit him with his best shot, and he was like,
Anyways,
nope.
We've been going on for hour 15 on 7 fights. This is a long one, but let's go over to and give them our Lambo parlays. I only got one because it's very hard on this, and it's going to be a long shot one. I went with Hokit KO1, Topuria KO1-2, Ruffy KO2-3, Nickal KO 54-1. They're all KOs. All KOs, then.
You said
What do you got?
Ruffy KO 2-3?
Yes.
And then
Nickal
Bo KO? Okay.
Yeah.
I have two. First one is Lopes by sub, Gane by points, 20-1. And then I got Ilya KO, Hokit KO, Gane 4-5 decision, Bo round 3 decision, 20-1.
And Bo what?
Bo round 3 decision,
And what is that, 20-1?
20-1 on both of them.
So they're both 20-1.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that is it. 200 live viewers. Appreciate all of you. I know you guys are watching the game. Please like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, comment. I'm going to be in Las Vegas. I'm driving to Las Vegas on Sunday morning, early morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be out there. I'm playing in the WSOP for poker. I'm going to be gone for like 10 days. So I'll be back on the 25th. Next week, I'm going to have to play it by ear, Tim. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a show or not. I did buy a new laptop, so I'm ready to go as far as, doing a show out there. I still have to tape and stuff, but I appreciate everybody again for being in here. There are 2 links down below. There's one for the free aspect of the Discord if you want to be in the free portion, and there's another one for $25 a month if you want to get in there. I'm up almost 60 units on the year on my plays. So yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of sharp people outside of myself. I mean, like I mentioned, Dissection, we got B Trump, we got so many good guys in the community. If you want to get in there, it's $25 a month. It's peanuts compared to what you could win and what we've been winning. So I appreciate my co-host here, Timothy Troiano. Tim, you got any parting words for the people for Sunday card? I guess not tomorrow.
No, sir. Let's cash these tickets, brother.
All right. One last thing, Tim. Let's cash these tickets for UFC Freedom 250.